Hello, Serious Survivor here, and today we're going to look at fire making techniques. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate how to use a fire steel or a ferro rod to ignite a fire to help us stay warm at night, to help us survive in a survival situation, or whatever needs you may have for starting a fire. When we use the words fire lay, we're talking about a fire bed or a fire structure, what we're going to build our fire on. There are three things necessary to get a fire started. The first is tinder. The second is kindling, and the third is fuel. Generally, the tinder is very small pieces, broken up bark, broken up leaves, small twigs, small pine needles, things such as that will ignite very rapidly. We can also use man-made elements to accelerate the starting of a fire. And we're going to look at some of these products today. We're going to look at the products to determine whether they can be ignited with a fire steel or whether we're going to have an open flame to ignite these products and help us build our fire. Having an open flame such as a lighter or matches is always your best route, but using a fire steel is a little more primitive, but it is a route that will work very well under most circumstances. So having tinder, which is your broken up very small pieces that ignite easily, is the first step, and we ignite the tinder with our ferro rod. Second, we add kindling to the fire to develop a better flame to get it burning a little better, and then we transfer this to our fire structure or our fire lay. Now you can ignite this underneath your fire lay, and this just basically boils down to personal preference. The different fire lays that you're going to hear talked about are the TP lay, the lean-to fire, a cross-ditch fire, the log cabin fire or lay, and the Dakota fire hole. And one thing about the Dakota fire hole is this is an underground fire basically, so this is when you need stealth, when you don't want to be detected, when you don't want too much smoke, when you don't want your flame to be seen from a long distance away. The type that we're going to use for the sake of this video is the log cabin fire. So let's get started. Alright, here we're going to see several different methods that can be used to start fire, and all of these methods are pretty easy to carry along with you in some type of bug out bag or some type of survival kit. So we're going to look at what they are and the type of method you would have to use to get these fires started. We can see a lot of different products here. The first is the Instafire fire starter, and this stuff brags a lot about itself here on the package, and it burns at nearly 1,000 degrees, burns in winds up to 30 miles an hour, burns on snow, and even floats and burns on water. So as you can see there, the back of it and the front of it. So we're going to test that out and see if it holds up to what it's saying it will. Zip fire starters. Don't know if you've ever seen these. These are made to light the package and see how well they burn. If you have any of these and you have an open flame with this stuff, it's going to go very well. But we're going to look at see which one of these items we can use our fire steel on to get these going. So that's some zip fuel. Some Kleenexes, that's always easy to get a fire going. And here's our dryer lamp. Now this, I've just got it shoved in this cardboard tube, so it'd be easy for me to bring out here today. I don't normally carry it like this because if my pack were to get a little damp on the inside, then it would ruin the lint here. But we know this is really flammable. Got my fire starter kit with a lot of different things, and we're gonna look at the cotton ball Vaseline method. Got our Vaseline, petroleum jelly, I should say, let me be specific with that, with 100% pure petroleum jelly. So if you get the kind that's 80 or 75% pure, you may not get the same results as hopefully we will see here. Now the reason I've got everything on this cardboard box is just to make it easier for us to see in the video. First thing you need is tinder and kindling. You gotta have something that's gonna burn easy. Being out in the woods, there's a lot of different things you can use for this. And that's what I carry these for, believe it or not, little pencil sharpeners. Pencil sharpeners are a good way for me to get kindling. When I have small sticks like this, I can put these in here and I just basically, well, this stick's not even gonna hold up to it, but basically create my small kindling. Some other things that work good is these dried thorn branches, as you see. These things dry and they become very, very good, very good to burn. Very good. So let's move that to the side. So, you simply move it in and look at this. It makes really good kindling. And I'm left with a little bit of a sharp stick when I get done. But I take this And then I break it all up, or break it into even smaller pieces. And I've got some pretty good kindling going right there. So I'm gonna have to keep on with that for a little while longer. Sometimes you want to wear your gloves, sometimes it's better, easier to work with them off. Building a fire seems like a simple task on the outside looking in. Under extreme circumstances, this can be extremely difficult. Out here today, the weather is decent, but everything is really damp. It snowed yesterday and the day before here in South Carolina, but today it's 50 degrees, so it has warmed back up a lot. All right, so here we go, and I'm having to protect it from the wind a little bit, but I'm going to break up my little pieces to more smaller pieces. And here we go. Okay. So that's going to start good, but I also want to get some things that work a little better, and I'm going to try some of these dried leaves. So now, this is actually very easy from here, okay? If you got the old lighter, of course, we've got it whooped at this point in time. We've got a fire now. Matches, same thing, whether it be, your cases of matches, waterproof matches. That's why this kind of stuff is extremely important to have in any type of survival kit. It's going to be a lot easier for me to start this fire with an already existing flame than it is going to be for me to start this fire with either a fire starter like this or even a larger fire starter. It's going to be a little more difficult. I wouldn't normally do this on a piece of cardboard is because I would build this onto a small piece of wood, a small fireboard, if you will, and I would take the fireboard and place it underneath my fire structure once I get done, getting the fire lit. I'm going to transfer this. I probably should have started here to begin with, but I'm going to transfer this to this fireboard. Okay. Then we're going to start it up. There it goes. All right, let's get some more on it. Now what I'm going to do is transfer this to my fire. All right, here we go. Now get over here. You got it, Johnny? Mm-hmm. All right. So here, I'm going to apply some more kindling. I want to get these going good. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slowly start to increase the size of the fuel that I'm putting on it. As we can see, this fire is going pretty good, or starting to, and we're in a pretty windy situation, so this is where you want to be careful. Notice how the embers, they are traveling everywhere. I mean, they're blowing up, so we got to keep an eye. Even though it is damp out here, you still have the, possibility of a forest fire, and that's definitely something that we don't want to happen. Okay, now that we've seen what a fire steel can do and how to use one, we're going to look at the other items that we had, and we're going to see how easy it is to light with a fire steel and with a lighter. So we're going to check out first here. Okay, we got one cotton ball here saturated with Vaseline. First, we're going to try to light this with a ferro rod, and we're going to see how well that works. Let's see how easy it is to light. That right there lit up very quick, so that's an excellent means of starting a fire with just a ferro rod. Just one spark, we saw that. And we're seeing how long it burns for, and I'm timing it with my stopwatch here. So we may elapse this for the video. And it has been right at a minute that it's burned, and it's still burning. So at this point, at this rate, we know that this will definitely serve as an excellent fire starter. Toss that over into the fire, and let's move on to the next one. All right, next we're going to move on to a second one, and this one is the dryer lint. We're going to see how well the dryer lint burns with using now first though, I want to go back. Using the cotton ball and the Vaseline or the petroleum jelly we used, we saw we didn't need an open flame. So if it lights with a fire steel, it's definitely going to combust with an open flame. So next we're going to look at the dryer lint. So Johnny, try it once again with the fire steel. There you go, there you go. And there it is, fire steel. Fire steel, this is something everybody needs. But as we can see with the dryer lint, it does not burn anywhere near as long as the petroleum jelly burned. But still, this has burned plenty long enough for me to get a fire started. Let's look at the other stuff. So I want to see if these tissues here, if they'll combust with a fire steel. Now anything that will combust with a fire steel, we know for a fact that an open flame is going to light it. So, you know, matches or lighter is definitely going to do the trick for anything. But let's check it out with the fire steel here, and let's see what happens. Tear it up in small pieces. Okay, let's try that. Try it in small pieces, see if that helps any. There we go, and there we go, folks. Fire steel on tissues. Probably works the same with toilet paper, maxi pads, anything. Look at there. It's going good. It's going good. Excellent, excellent. All right, put those in the fire. Let's move on to the next one. We're gonna try it with the fire steel, but I think we're gonna have to use an open flame. It's the Zip fire starter. Now these I have tried before, lighting them with a flame, and they do pretty well. But what we want to do today is, Johnny, open this up, and break off some little chunks onto the cardboard down there, and let's see if we can get a fire started. And let's just shave some off. The stuff breaks apart pretty easy, so you can really shave it off. Now let's start it with the fire steel. Let's see if we can get this going with a fire steel, and we'll see if it's something that's, you know, I would need an open flame for. Okay, it looks like if it is going to start with the fire steel, that it's going to take quite a while. So we're just going to tackle this one. We're going to tackle this one with a set of matches there. Let's see how well the matches do on it. These are some really cheap matches, so keep that in mind. Yeah, with an open flame, this goes up immediately. Here we're going to look at what's called fat wood. A lot of people talk about fat wood, and for a good reason. This is some very good stuff. So like I said, technical data about it, or some links in the description and all. Fat wood, and when we pull it out and smell it, you know, you can almost smells like it's going to burn. So let's see how this starts. All right, first we're going to try to start this with a fire starter, and I got a feeling that it's not going to work too well, but maybe I'm wrong here. Okay, all right, we'll stop there. It possibly, you know, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. Probably if I took this fat wood and I broke it in half or cut it in half and I filed some of it down, maybe using the pencil sharpener that we saw earlier, or, you know, using the serrated blade on my fixed blade knife, a serrated edge, then, you know, we probably could create some dust, you know, some kindling or some for this. But looks like it's going to need an open flame for the big sticks like this. So let's see how quickly it goes up with an open flame. And it looks like we're going now. Looks like the flame is going. Okay, looks to me like it's going to burn fairly slow. In good conditions, it'll be easy to light like we saw out here. But as long as this stuff is dry, as long as it's kept dry, maybe in some type of watertight container in your bag or something, then, you know, it's going to work, because we can see here it's burning slow. One last thing, and that is the military grade instafire. Military grade instafire. All right, so now this stuff, there's supposed to be enough in here to start 4 fires, and no harmful chemicals. It's supposed to be friendly to the ecosystem around us. Light it with a match or a lighter, and it should light almost instantaneously. We're going to try it with the fire starter, with the fire steel to begin with.
It burnt a little bit.
All right, that's good. All right, now let's see how quickly we can get this thing going with the open flame, and let's see what it'll do.
I'm not playing, homie.
It looks almost like it's melting instead of turning to ash, you know, like we expect from a Class Alpha fire. You know that Class Alpha is anything that leaves an ash. Class Bravo is a fuel oil. Class Charlie is an electrical fire, and Class Delta is other. And that would refer to you burning metals and such as that. Possibly it's going to ash up. Yeah, some of it's ashing up now. And as we can see, that's several different methods for, building, starting a fire. We talked about a lot of different things, but we see a lot of products that we saw. Some of them work with a fire steel, some have to have an open flame. So depending on what's to your advantage, we don't always have an open flame, so I like the ones that do ignite quickly with a fire steel. So if I'm gonna take the time and trouble to pack my bag with items that I'm gonna use to help start a fire, then it's probably gonna be ones that will ignite with the fire steel that we saw. And there's a lot of different options, and there's a lot more that I didn't even mention in the video. So if there are other methods that people would like to add to it, please add in the comments below, because we're always looking for more knowledge, more ways to do things, more efficient ways, better ways. So I hope the video is informative, and for now, Serious Survivor, out.